Hey people, what's going on? This is Simple Man with Simplify Android, and in this video I'm going to give you the basics on how to use your Android operating system. Now this is kind of a crash course on navigating through the different home screens, menus, settings of your Android device, and it doesn't get too in-depth into any particular item, but it should help you get a good grasp on how to use your device right out of the box, and you can even set some things up after watching this if you're a very new user. So let's get right into how you interact with your device. Now, most people know that you have to use your fingers to interact with these devices, but if you're a new user, you might not know all the different ways you can use your fingers to interact. So I'll give you a couple examples. There is a tap, there is a long press, there is a swipe, and then there's a pinch to zoom. So we'll go to Google Maps, my icon right there, and first of all I'm just going to tap it, and that will just open up the application, just like you're clicking with a mouse pointer. If we go out of it and I use a different type of touch, which is called a long press, I'll press my finger and keep it there on the screen. And if I drag it along the screen, I can move the icon different places. I can even remove it from the home screen. Let's put it back in its place though. So that's how you do the long press. Also, if we jump into the Google Maps app, you can swipe your finger, which means just drag it along the screen and you can go to different places on the map, basically wherever you drag your finger. The other one is the pinch to zoom. This one you have to use two fingers at the same time, and let's say we want to zoom in closer. We drag both fingers on the screen and it zooms in closer. If we want to zoom out, we drag both fingers and pinch them together and it zooms out a little bit. Do it some more and it zooms out even more. So now that we've figured out how to interact with our device, now let's talk a little bit about home screens. We'll jump out of the maps, and these are our home screens. You can have 5, 6, 7, depends on your device, but this is what you'll be seeing when your phone first boots up. And you can customize these screens to look any way you want them. That's the nice thing about Android, is it's very customizable. So this is the default home screen that's going to show up when we first load up our phone, and as you saw before, we can move items to different areas, and we can even change the items that we want on our home screen. So I'll jump two to the right on our home screens. As you can see, if I want a home screen just full of mainly games, I can do that. I can swipe over and have more of my essential apps on this screen. So let's try removing an icon. Let's say we don't want maps on here anymore. Or let's try Angry Birds. We'll take that off. So I long press it, drag it down to remove, but how do we get it back? Well, this little icon down here on the bottom of the screen is my apps icon. So if I press that, it will give me a list of all my different apps on the phone. So I'll press that. It will jump me into my application drawer, my app drawer, and I can long press on Angry Birds and bring it right to the home screen I was originally at. So I dragged it into place, and now Angry Birds is back. There's another way to put an app on a home screen, and if I remove this guy, if I long press on a blank area of my home screen, it will bring up a bunch of options. If I go to apps, then I can find Angry Birds again, and I can just select it and it will pop Angry Birds right back on the screen, and I can long press it to drag it right to where I want to see it. Now if I long press on the home screen, it will give me a lot of other options to change on this home screen. This brings me to my personalize, if you can see that up there, my personalize options. We'll get more into that, but let's try changing the wallpaper for now. We'll go to HTC wallpapers. If we click on a wallpaper and then click apply, Now our wallpaper for all our home screens has changed. If we long press on a blank area of the home screen, again, click wallpaper, and then we can even slide through the different wallpapers here, and I can revert back to my original. We can look at a preview of it or just press it and then hit apply, and now we're back to our original wallpaper. So it's pretty easy. There's lots of options. You can even explore on your own. You're not really going to mess anything up. Some system items might change, some settings might change, but it's nothing that you can't change back later. You just have to find it again. Now let's look at the hardware buttons down here at the very bottom. All Android devices have hardware buttons, well, most of them. Some tablets don't, some have them actually on the screen, but they never disappear no matter where you are on the device. So this is your home button, your menu button, your back button, and your search button. Let's start off with the home button. The home button, that brings you back to the very first default home screen that you have. So that will actually bring us back to this middle home screen. You can tell by the little indicator in the middle where I am on the home screens. So if we're in the middle home screen, and let's say we go to the right two home screens and hit our map app, we can hit that home button and we'll default back to our original home screen, our default home screen. So we'll have to go two home screens to the right to divert back to where I originally was for this video. Now the menu button, which is this button, if we want to press that, we can see settings for whatever we're using right now. Now these are since we're on the home screen, these are the default Android menu settings or menu options. If we go into Maps and hit that same menu button, it will give us different menu options based on where we are on the Android operating system. So almost every application has its own menu options. It's just an easy way to give settings to every different area where you are on the phone. Now the back button, this third button here, that will bring us back one spot from where we were. So let's say we go to Maps, I hit back. It doesn't bring me back to the default home screen, it brings me back to the home screen that I've been using for this video. So it just brings us back one place. If you're in an application and you're a few pages into it, it will just bring you back to the previous page you were at. Let's say we go to the internet and we're searching for, well, we're searching for pregnant women, I guess. Let's say we go to the GIFs section and we want to go back. This will just bring us to the previous page we were on rather than the home screen. So the last hardware button to show you is this Google search button. And if you click that, it will give you an input field and you will basically just search the internet through Google. Simple as that. So show you an example. Hit that button, go to kangaroo. That was my last search. It brings up the search results for kangaroo. I'll back out of that, and that's pretty much as easy as it is. It's just a quick way to use Google's search function on a Google device. But one thing that's interesting that a lot of people don't utilize that I think is actually very powerful and very versatile is to use the long press on the search function, and that actually activates the voice command function. So let's say I long press it and I want to search for kangaroos again. Kangaroo. So that will bring up web search results for kangaroos. It uses the microphone and translates it to text, and then it brings up the search results based on what I say. There's a lot of different commands that you can access by using this voice search function. And if we go here to google.com mobile voice actions, here's a list of all the different commands you can use to access different features from your phone just through voice commands. Send text messages, listen to music, call businesses, get directions, contacts, emails, view a map, go to websites. You can even write a note to yourself or search Google. So you can go to that website, and I'll probably post it in the description, and you can use a lot of different voice commands, and it's really handy. I've used it a lot. At this point, you're probably saying to yourself, okay, I've been given a lot of information here, but all I really wanted to do was learn how to change my ringtone. And all he's talking about is the stuff I already knew about. Well, maybe you're just smarter than everybody else, so I guess I can tell you how to change your ringtone now. What you got to do is go to your settings, and you access that through the menu icon right there that we talked about. So press that, and you're going to want to go to your settings. Your settings is this little cog icon right here. Press the settings, go to your sound, and then phone ringtone. Now this gives you a list of different ringtones you can use. You can click on the different ringtones to get a preview of what they sound like. So you can go through the list, you can scroll up and down through different ones, but I'm going to pick Solaris because, wow, that's like my favorite song. And then to choose that as your ringtone, you just hit the apply button. And now you have applied that ringtone. And one thing to note, you never have to really save anything or click a save button. Whenever you change a setting, once you activate it, enable it, whatever you want to do to it, it is saved. You can back out from that point and that setting is changed. So that's how you get a new ringtone.